Well, I believe in good vibrations is what creates a beautiful nation. All you need is the will to do right, do right, do right.
And we're live. Welcome to a brand new episode of Anecdotal Arguments. It's the term Shanghai is 107 years old, and no one can say they didn't see that it was coming. What did I miss about Shanghai? I was too busy with the. I was bombarded by live TikToks about people on airplanes being told by their captains that they no longer had to wear masks.
Oh, good news then. Yeah, Shanghai's not so much good news.
What? Those
Yeah.
words?
Yeah. Surprise,
No,
surprise.
you completely roboted. I didn't hear anything.
Oh, did
Yeah,
I? Damn it.
I don't know what just happened there, but that was insane.
Yeah.
I'm having throughput issues. Kid's probably up downloading a movie or something.
Speaking of, I downloaded the Batman.
How was it? I have it on HBO Max. I just haven't taken the time to watch it.
Well, yeah, I downloaded it. I'm going to watch it tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I got you. I tried to start watching Rocky to understand why Matt hated it. I got about 20 minutes in before I just ran out of lunchtime.
I can understand. I remember watching Rocky and then watching him lose. I mean, like, I was like 9. I wasn't a big fan of losers. Like, what if Shonuff won? Then he'd be the Shogun of Harlem.
Well, you have to remember that Rocky is a pre-Star Wars movie.
Is it? Was it 77?
76.
76? Is it?
Yeah. The original Rocky is pre-Star Wars. He's prior to Star Wars was god-awful.
It's in the vein of Butch Cassidy, as opposed to everything else.
Yeah. So by the standards of the day, it was actually a good movie.
Well, I was a child, but anyway, before we get into all this crap, how is it going, Sean?
It's Monday. We're here. Am I still roboting out? Because I got another error.
No, that time I heard you clearly. Garrick?
Yeah, I heard him. Am I sounding all right?
Yeah, you're sounding all right for a change.
For once.
Mm-hmm.
So how'd you like Spriggerville there, Garrick?
It sucked ass.
I like it up
Fucking
there.
dry air gave me a nosebleed from hell. I already had one before when I went to Washington. That was bad enough. Good God.
Yeah, I like it up there.
Yeah, you can have it.
I'll take it.
I remember Rocky being
what?
a dick to butchered meat. That's all I remember from Rocky. And him losing.
Yeah. You know, one thing I will say that was nice about Springerville, well, not necessarily Springerville, but like the surrounding area, it's beautiful. Especially if you start driving back to Albuquerque.
Yeah.
You see some pretty sights in the way.
Yep. John Wayne had a ranch up there.
Did he really? There's a lot of fucking land out there.
Yeah, he owned
Good God.
most of that as a ranch.
Damn. I mean, can't blame the guy.
Sure you can. They're blaming him for all sorts of shit.
But I don't want to.
Well, like there was a thing like 2 weeks ago about John Wayne attempting to beat up a chick.
A Native American chick.
A Native American, no, a Mexican bitch who claims Native Americanhood, who not that ranch, but the ranch in like Mendocino or somewhere in California, destroyed like his property. Her and her gang of Indians from South America boycotted filming that was being done, and he owned the land, and they destroyed it. he literally wanted her held to be prosecuted. He wasn't going to go punch her in the face. She's not Sean Connery.
He wouldn't punch. He'd slap.
Sean Connery was a slapper. Sometimes you have to slap a bitch. But he wanted her held, and then they're like mocking Clint Eastwood for saying about like cowboys and Indians is a thing. I'm Native American. Yeah. I know exactly how noble a savage we were.
Yeah,
we killed everybody.
I had a little free time. I was just fucking around at work the other day, and I was on Google Maps, and you know the Smithsonian museums out there? Mm-hmm. There's one, and it's labeled the American Indian Museum. It's not Native Americans. Fuck off. I'm sticking with Indians. You are Indians.
It's been changed to First Nations.
Really? But it still says on...
First Nation is now the only acceptable term.
Mm.
Are you sure about that? Because I'm pretty sure the Bureau of Indian Affairs still exists.
Yeah, no, it's the terms haven't changed. There's still the United Negro College Fund, but the acceptable term is First Nations, which is to not exclude Indigenous, which can also account for Native Mexican tribes that were nomadic.
I'm Indigenous, sir.
Fuck yeah, I mean, I'm Indigenous too. I can trace back my lineage back to Grandpa. But no, on my father's side, it goes way back.
Mm.
But to me, most of the surviving tribes were always picking up. Like, if there was a fight and they killed 60% of the other tribe, the other 40% would be brought into the tribe. There was a tribal aspect.
There was an assimilation of sorts.
Yeah, there was a tribal aspect to it, that it was in fact a tribe. But that tribe didn't have any sort of luxuries. So the good of the people was the thing. And it didn't matter what the people was. You brought in Blackfoot, and the next generation got a little darker. You brought in Cherokees, which are basically orphans, and it got a little healthier because there were more boys. It wasn't the same thing as everyone had to look exactly the same. It was for the good of the community as it moved around. So it was natural when white people came in that brought fucking everything, because the Native Americans didn't even have the wheel. The reason a teepee looks like a teepee is because they dragged everything at the ends. They just drug it. There was no wheel involved. But anyway, they naturally married into white civilization because they were gooder. Not gooder. It was just a better situation to be in. Indoor plumbing, plot of land, animals that came to you. Every aspect of life became easier when the white folks were there. And yeah, they brought disease, and they brought smallpox blankets, but they didn't bring smallpox blankets for smallpox blankets. They just brought disease with them because they were a hardier group than the Native Americans. 300 years before germ theory was invented.
Although, syphilis went the other way.
What do you mean?
Syphilis was part of the North American continent and made its way over to Europe and ravaged Europe.
You're welcome.
That's not something that a lot of people talk about because, you know, it's counter narrative that, wait a minute, no, only the white people were dirty, filthy, disease-ridden bastards. No, diseases go both ways.
Have you ever seen Dances with Wolves? Pretty freaking accurate. But also at a time when they'd already been learning from the white people. This is after Thanksgiving. This is, they just try to, because it's Hollywood. They fuck with everything. Like they fuck with Troy. They fuck with the Native Americans. They fuck with anything they get their hands on. They warp it to their twisted ways. And it comes out skewed from reality because they've always got to do something to it. They can't just let it be as it was. Like I've never seen a Civil War, even a Civil War reenactment, where the guys are shitting from dysentery and not shooting each other while their pants are down. Which 100% was a thing because of poorly maintained waterways and just god awful hygiene.
Yeah, and god awful food too.
Mm-hmm. But you never see Mel Gibson not scalping somebody who's got the runs. Because they want to pretty it up while disgusting it at the same time. Not Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson's pretty... God damn. Like, I didn't need to see Jesus get his ass kicked for 47 minutes. Other than Mel Gibson. Give or take.
Yeah, Hollywood didn't know how to feel about that one, did they?
No, of course not.
It's going to be a second one. It's going to be Easter. It's going to be night vision. Jesus is wandering around, feeling for the rock in the front of a cave. Like, I've been back for 37 minutes. No, like, okay, yeah. Like Schindler's List was warped by the shoes because Schindler's List. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's... Any warping done doesn't have to be in bad faith. It can be...
Well, they need to tell a story. So
yeah,
there's going to be a lot of creative licenses take place to make a better story than reality.
How long is this download going to take?
Why, did I robot out again?
Yes, Mr. Roboto.
Domo arigato.
Yeah.
But like in Dances with Wolves, besides for like the storing the bodies underwater for to keep them cool, the like moose heads or some shit like that. Kevin Costner was in a teepee while the other family members who were in the teepee were just banging away creating a new kid while the other 6 kids watched at night because there's no dividers in a teepee. But there were bear skins on everybody, so that's nice and kind of like a thing.
Yeah, they were more like buffalo hide, but okay.
Well, yeah, it used to be, not anymore. Thanks, white people. But
so, are bison and buffalo not the same thing?
No,
Well, they
bison are extinct, and buffalo are not.
No, it's the other way around. Bison still exist.
God damn it!
I thought they were basically the same thing. They were just interchangeable terms.
No, there's they look a lot alike, but you can tell like straight from the horns, they're completely different. But bison are bigger. They're heavier. They have the fucking thicker skulls. But they are well, like water buffalo are only in South Asia.
In Africa.
So like well, indigenous to that area. Bison, North America, parts of Europe. and they're not in Europe anymore, and they haven't been for. They were woolly mammoths still.
Well, they used to have a thing called an aurochs over in Europe. It was like a gigantic ox, like 3 times the size of an ox of today.
Whenever I look, if it's got a huge hump, I know it's a shit. Bison. Bisons have the big hump. And water buffalo have like a wider horn spread. But it doesn't matter because fucking French came in and named everything buffalo. So
You're
we
welcome.
corrected them for bison. But, you know, it's a story of the unicorn all over again.
Okay, before we start talking movie, which I know we kind of already touched on it.
Oh, shit. We were supposed to talk about movie first. Yeah, what about it?
No. What's y'all's take on Elon Musk and Twitter and all that? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, they have till Wednesday to accept or decline. I would imagine they're going to find some way to finagle out a way to decline. But I have a feeling Elon's already got the lawsuit drawn up as a shareholder for lack of fiduciary responsibility. And we'll be filing it that morning.
Yeah. But he's got a tight rope to walk, because what he's going to end up doing is selling his stock, tanking the stock numbers, which then he has to do a whole other filing on, because it's market manipulation at that point.
He's no longer the biggest single shareholder, though, so he's got an out there. Vanguard did him a solid by buying more.
But he's still got paperwork.
True.
Because he bought more than 5%, but he bought less than 10%, so it's only the one set of paperwork. So then he's going to sell stock. It's going to tank. He's going to start with his first purchase of a horde, which is 15%. They're going to then dilute their poison pill stock, which means they're creating stock out of nothing and selling it for whole cloth, and create a drain, which further dilutes the pool because they're selling internally for the poison pill, which is like creating stock out of stock.
I don't think that's what they're going to do. I think what they'll do is they'll wait for it to tank after he sells, if he sells, which may not be the first thing he does, because he's gonna file the lawsuit first. But if it comes to the point where he needs to sell to tank the stock, what they'll do is they'll let him sell his, and then as soon as that sale is complete, they'll split the stock, thus giving everybody else who already has the stock, that's holding the stock, instead of selling or dumping because it's crashing, they'll just double the amount of stock that they each hold.
He could sell it to somebody, still causing a drain. If he's got he could sell it literally to Peter Thiel.
You have to do a lot of paperwork. You were talking about paperwork.
Yes.
You have to do a lot of paperwork to not go through the market to make a sale like that.
I mean, he can gift it. It's $3 billion. He'll be saving $20 billion. He'll end up going from spending $43 billion to closer to $20 billion after it tanks.
I mean, I'm very curious as to what his plan B is.
Well, that's what I was kind of wondering as well.
But I
want to know who he's talking to.
Yeah.
Within the owning stock in Twitter.
Well, Morgan Stanley for sure, because they're the named fiduciary that's facilitating these. They are his financial advisor in all of these purchases and these dealings. They are the ones who are facilitating the buyout option that he put forward.
Mm-hmm. I don't like that uh, uh, these companies like BlackRock and State Street and what's the other one?
Vanguard.
Vanguard can use stockholder money from 401ks and portfolio investments to do something like this, where they buy into all these different companies and try to have a power over them when they're not even being responsible with it. So I would like to see them taken down a peg, but I'd also like to see Robinhood taken down a peg and Wall Street in general taken down a peg. There's no money in this.
I don't know about State Street or or BlackRock. I don't know how they're set up, but I know how Vanguard is set up because I used to work for them. They are index funds. So the investor money that they're spending is the investor money that's specifically tied to the index funds that contain Twitter. So whatever, there's probably 5 or 6 of them, if not more, of their classified index funds that people agree to. I want to buy into shares of this index fund. And whatever that index fund holds, they spread out the investment across those shares that are in the index fund. That's how Vanguard is getting away with this, because it's not like they're taking investors' money against the investors' will and investing it in this stuff. The investors, the individual investors who have bought into the Vanguard accounts, have specified.
You're getting harder and harder to listen to.
I was following. I mean, he was roboting, but I was still following. But yeah, give it a second.
So where'd you lose me?
I
didn't lose. I'm just letting you know it's getting worse. If you can do something about it.
There's not really anything I can do besides restart.
No,
we're not doing that.
Let me free up some memory. Maybe that'll help. But yeah, the individual investors in Vanguard have already agreed to let the money that they've put into these index funds go to whatever's in the index fund. And if the index fund includes Twitter, it's at Vanguard's discretion how that money is spent in the index fund.
Okay, yes. But are they individual... are they individuals or are they groups like an entire slew of Roths or
all of the above,
like pensioners or
well, so like if you have a 401k, the 401k has specific plans that are built into the 401k that you as the individual investor for the the recipient of the money to choose from, and then those funds have funds in them, yada yada yada. It's infinitely recursive so that they can hide money. It's designed that way from the ground up.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's been that way for 100 years or more.
Well, when I
100
become
years
king, or more. But yeah, so I do not like the idea that the people who the teachers union give the money to and the police unions are using that money to disrupt civil discourse in this country. Using it for power. I don't like it. And I don't like that they're too big to fail either, because the politicians are pieces of shit that want them on their side. It's all... I'll just blow it all up. I'm meeting with somebody who glows in the dark to see where I can get this C4 dynamite from. A nice Fed boy. Let's see where it goes from there.
Well, the Feds have the best candy.
What? How is Rocky, Garrick? That 20 minutes you watched?
It's slow, hard to watch, kind of. And yeah, what's his face? Just alone looks like he's been hit a few too many times, and very early on. I don't know what to tell you.
America loves an underdog.
I mean, I don't think it won. Yeah, I don't think it's 1 out of 5. It's not great. I mean, probably, as far as I've gotten right now, I'd probably give it a 3. It's a perfectly average movie.
I'd agree with that.
What about you?
It's a 3.
Mm-hmm.
It was never a great movie, but in comparison to everything else that was available pre-Star Wars, pretty good.
Who says so?
I mean, they had that one Robert Redford movie, or was that after Star Wars? The Flight of the Condor, I think it was.
Oh, I have no idea when that was released.
Something like that. But I enjoyed that movie. I thought that was good. I hope he likes Oh Brother Where Art Thou, though. I really do. I'll be devastated if he hates it.
Well, Rocky was the highest grossing movie of 1976. The dog that was
That's
in the
not
movie.
funny.
Huh?
Huh?
What?
I said that's not saying much, that it was the highest grossing movie.
Yeah.
That doesn't say a whole lot about that time period.
The dog in the movie was Sylvester Stallone's dog. He was working as an usher before Rocky, because he wrote Rocky. So,
Right.
written and starred in Rocky. He was making $36 a week as an usher, which 1976 isn't as bad as it sounds, but it's still not good.
Mm-hmm.
The week before Rocky, he sold Rocky. He had to sell his dog.
That's
And
fucked up.
yeah, he couldn't afford to feed the dog, and it was a good dog. And he finally sold Rocky, and he went back and he bought the dog for like 3 times what he paid for it. Because
Oh, that's dick.
everyone's dick. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dick. Dick move.
Yeah, but he was in Death Race 2000. When was that released?
Probably about the same time.
Now I gotta look that one up, because I remember that was the first exposure to Stallone I had. 75. So that was the year before Rocky. Was Death Race 2000.
Yeah.
And then he was in some saucy stuff before that.
Now, when you say saucy,
Porn.
yeah, I gathered. I just wanted to hear you say it.
So in the audition, Carl Weathers and Stallone are there for some reason. The audition has them boxing, and Carl Weathers pops Stallone in the jaw, and they tell him to calm down, and he says, "Well, this Weathers says." If I was allowed to audition with a real actor, not a stand-in, maybe he'd do a lot better. And the director smiled and said, not only is he a real actor, he's also the writer. And Weathers looks at Stallone and says, well, maybe it'll get better. And Stallone immediately offered Carl Weathers the job. As you should, because Carl Weathers was Action motherfucking Jackson.
Not for another decade, though.
Yeah, a full fucking decade. And then that movie never would have happened without Predator. That movie had everybody but Arnie in it. Well, and the pilot, which was technically the Tall Paul anyway.
What are them crazy kids up to?
Breakthrough Films, Stallone, inspired screenplay. Shooting scene in the meat locker where he punches slabs of beef. Actor Sylvester Stallone punches the meat so hard for so long that he flattened out his knuckles. To this day, when he makes a fist, his knuckles are completely level. That's stupid. Cuff and Link, Young Bird. Single most expensive cost on the film was makeup.
What, to cover up bruises and shit?
The opposite, to make bruises and shit. Stallone got his ass whooped. And Adrian was no looker.
No, but she was the money. Because she's a Coppola.
Yeah. Sylvester Stallone and Carl Weathers suffered injuries during the shooting of the final fight. Stallone suffered bruised ribs, and Carl Weathers suffered a damaged nose. The opposite injuries of what the characters had. Rocky is not a character's actual name. It's Robert Balboa, but a scene or a rough transcript, second film, named real-life boxer Rocky Marciano. Boxing gloves used in the championship fight were called Casanovas. They were illegal in the U.S., but Sylvester Stallone says the producers chose them anyway because of their sleek appearance. You wouldn't look so bad if you had actual regulation gloves and you could hide behind them. The film was shot in 28 days. Streets of Philadelphia. Single-handedly made Eye of the Tiger. Yada yada.
Well, Eye of the Tiger wasn't until the third one, was it?
What was the second one? I thought it was the... I just do that
the
in
Russian?
there. That's the fourth one.
That's the fourth one? That's... Yeah, I think that's the one I saw.
Third one's Mr. T?
Yep.
Right? Yeah, Mr. T.
Third one's Mr. T. Clubber Lang.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see that.
I don't remember Rocky 2 at all. I know I've seen it, but I don't remember.
It's just a rematch. Where he wins. I mean, kudos to Stallone making twice the money on the same fucking film.
Yeah. Made a career out of it. I mean, you know, that and First Blood.
In between Rocky and Rambo, he was fucking set.
And he wrote both of them.
No, he did not write First Blood.
He did the screenplay, didn't he?
He might have had a hand in the screenplay, but that was a novel adaptation.
Yeah, it was, oh shit. It was by, I can just fucking Google it. David Morrell. But did he... Oh, he wrote First Blood. No, that's the first one.
Yeah, the first movie was called First Blood, not Rambo.
First Blood Part 2. Okay. So I'm wrong on that part. But... What the hell? No, it's got First Blood. Brother of the Rose. Rambo First Blood Part 2.
That's Rambo 2.
Yeah.
That's Rambo First Blood Part 2, but the first movie is just called First Blood.
Yeah, Rambo First Blood Part 2 is a novel by David Morrell based on screenplay by Sylvester Stallone and James Cameron. Okay. So he does get writer's credit in the second book. That's what we got to work with there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one thing he's got that Schwarzenegger doesn't got. But I would agree that after I steal Stopper My Mom Will Shoot from Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm writing all of my own scripts.
Oh, did you ever watch The Villain? Speaking of Arnie.
Sean?
No.
Just no.
No,
Not even interested.
no.
Oh. Come on. I finally find a bad movie for you guys to watch. And you won't even get.
I don't watch bad movies. I watch good movies that aren't good. It's completely different.
Yeah, I'm all down for watching a bad movie because it's gloriously bad, but a mediocre bad movie is just bad, and I have no interest in watching.
Like, I won't watch
Oh.
Varsity Blues.
Come on.
It's
Or
like
It's not
Radio.
mediocrely bad.
I
Bad movie is a bad movie.
I will not watch
Yeah,
Commando again.
It would be.
What when you watch again?
Commando?
Hmm.
It's a bad
Commando?
movie.
What?
I won't
What are
watch
you talking about?
bad.
It's a great movie.
I won't watch Commando again. I lied. No.
Plus,
I don't
it's got Alyssa Milano in it, and she doesn't need any more fucking juice.
He was 12, sir.
And cute.
He was a cute 12.
Hey, easy killer.
I was
Dude,
9.
She is
I'm allowed.
my age. She is my age. She was my first crush. I'll admit that openly. Melissa Milano
Punky Brewster.
or Judith Light. Either one is actually the grandma too, because what's her name from Soap was also stupidly good looking for her age.
Mona.
Yep.
When I hit the like button, it exploded with colors and glitter. Was there confetti of color? I don't want that.
It's not June yet.
I am. We so what's on next week's pick?
Oh brother, where art thou?
Oh, brother, where right now?
Oh Lord.
My favorite movie. I can't say it enough times.
Well, he did my favorite movie pretty early on, and
He started with one of my beloved
Tremors?
movies and shat all over it.
yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
Tremors,
You
you mean?
like me some Tremors?
Yeah.
Well, what was your favorite movie then, Sean? Blade Runner?
Good Lord, do you even know this man?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Big Trouble in Little China. My God, what's wrong with me? It's like I don't know you.
That's okay. Get my name wrong. Forget the thing I talk about the most on these streams.
Speaking of, did you see that text I sent you about being late?
What's that?
Did you see the text I sent you about being late?
No.
Yeah, I sent you a text and it says Sean M. Cron. So,
Sean McCron.
yeah, I was like, eh. He'll get the joke.
Come on, you gotta admit, that was a pretty damn funny episode. That was a fucking killer.
No, that was retarded, sir. No one was laughing with you.
Yeah,
It was all
yeah.
at you.
That's fine. As long as
They're
you're
all
laughing.
gonna laugh at you.
That's okay. Just
They're I've been watching Friends, and I've been fast forwarding through
Oh,
Friends
right.
because I do not like Ross. I'm into season 2 now, and now I don't like the poor half of the Friends group. I'm like, ugh, get more jobs. Get better jobs. You all suck. But it's like, this was a weird time in America. Like, I remember at one point, I don't know what season it was, but they ended up making $1 million an episode. And, like, there was literally helicopters circling the Friends estates. Just to tell everybody they were making $1 million an episode.
Yeah, I still don't know who makes more or who made more. It's either the Friends group or it's the Seinfeld cast.
Oh, probably the Seinfeld cast, if I had to guess.
Well,
They were making fucking bank.
it's 4 versus 6.
Mm.
So let's check. Friends versus Seinfeld. The two shows are actually quite different in their sensibilities, with Seinfeld purportedly being a show about nothing, where its characters don't learn and grow, contrast to warmer hangout vibe of Friends, which Seinfeld or Friends better. Seinfeld is by far more important, influential, and better show than Friends, although both have lasting influences. Seinfeld was simply more bold and innovative at the time, with humor that cuts deeper, blah, blah. Why is Seinfeld so much better than Friends? Did Friends use the same set as Seinfeld? Is Friends a spin-off of Mad About You?
No.
I always thought that Mad About You was a spin-off of My Two Dads.
No. No? Was it?
I thought that Paul Reiser played the same character.
I saw the other dad in a movie, and I was like, it took me so long to figure out where I knew him from. I did see Helen Hunt and her friend in an episode, and it was revolved around Phoebe. Friends highest paid actor per episode. Impressive $1 million per episodes in season 9 and 10.
I wonder what they started making when the show was new. Because none of them were... The most famous person on that cast when they first started was Courtney Cox.
Oh, that's weird.
But for most of them, it was their breakout role, more or less.
Okay, so all right, so across the board, $2 million adjusted 2019. Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon in The Morning Show. Never even heard of it. Charlie Sheen, 2.5 Men, adjusted 2.168 million, which is more. So I don't know why they're not ahead. Okay, these aren't proper numbers. Okay, I see how it is. Salary versus inflation adjusted salary. Okay. So Charlie Sheen got 1.8 million, which is 200,000 less, but in numbers, it's Ray Romano, Everybody Loves Raymond, Kelsey Grammer and Frasier with 1.6 million, Chris Pratt in something called The Terminal List, 1.4. Yeah, I don't know what The Terminal List is.
And what year? Because back when Friends was being shown, Chris Pratt
was
it's
like
right
8. Now.
Oh.
It's right now. 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Terminal List.
Oh, so they're making this stuff in residuals?
No, this is right now. It's happening. This was at the time per episode.
Oh, okay.
Next, Tim Allen, 1.25 million, and that was 98.99.
So that was what? Home Improvement?
Yes. Jerry Seinfeld, 98.99, $1 million for Seinfeld. Helen Hunt and Paul Reiser each made $1 million per episode. Mad About You in 98.99.
Back before the world went crazy.
So the entire fucking cast of Friends: Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, Matt LeBlanc, David Schwimmer, Matthew Perry, each made $1 million per episode in 2002 to 2004, which makes it even weirder because you've got Jerry Seinfeld coming in at 97.
Well, I think Jerry Seinfeld made news because he was the first person to be paid $1 million an episode for a TV show.
Okay. James Gandolfini made $1 million in 2006. Big Bang Theory, Penny and Leonard and Sheldon made $1 million an episode. That's 2015 through 2017. Game of Thrones, $1 million an episode for Tyrion Lannister, Jaime Lannister, Cersei Lannister,
All the Lannisters.
Daenerys Targaryen, and Jon Snow.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently Reese Witherspoon's making bank, this bitch. Big Little Lies, $1 million an episode. Jeff Bridges, The Old Man, $1 million an episode. The Jew and the Indian from Big Bang Theory made $900,000 an episode. Roseanne Barr in 1996 made $875,000 per episode.
Then they stole her show from her.
What's weird is then you get to David Hyde Pierce at $750,000 per episode for Frasier, but we didn't cover Frasier.
Yeah, you did. You had Kelsey Grammer in there. Up at the top.
Oh, 1.6 million. Okay. I think I actually skipped him though. But
Dude, not bad for being a bit player on every third episode of Cheers.
yeah, that's a pretty. Oh, so let's go back to the top and see. 2.5 Men wasn't a spinoff, right?
No.
All right, so Frasier is at the top of the list. Everybody Loves Raymond. That was not a spinoff, but there were spinoffs. King of Queens, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Home Improvement was not a spinoff. Soprano, Big Bang Theory. No, those aren't spinoffs.
Yeah, the only spin-off there is Frasier.
So for 2 seasons, Seinfeld made $1 million an episode, and for 2002, 2003, 2004, so 3 seasons, Friends made $1 million an episode. I'm surprised Supernatural's not on here.
They probably didn't. Dude, that was CW money. They don't have that kind of money.
Drew Carey's on here. Your Honor. With, I don't even know what the hell that is. Bryan Cranston. Oh, it's last year. House. Hugh Laurie made $700,000 an episode. John Cryer made $620,000 an episode. So the rest of the cast, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Jason Alexander, and Michael Richards made $600,000 an episode. Martin Short and Steve Martin Short, $600,000 an episode for that frickin' Only Murders in the Building.
Oh yeah, with Selena Gomez.
Mm-hmm. The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon made $550,000. 2017, 2018, Modern Family. Sofia Vergara. No X-Files on here. I mean,
They did have to pay David Duchovny a lot of money towards the end there, which is why they wrote him out of the show and then end up bringing him back because the show tanked.
oh shit. Network primetime salaries per season. Simon Cowell in The X Factor, $75 million a year. Adriana Grande, $25 million. Katy Perry, Jennifer Lopez, $25 and $20 million. Christina Aguilera, $20 million. Mariah Carey, $18 million. Britney Spears on X Factor, 15 million. Nicki Minaj as a judge on 1 year, 12 million. Freaking Lord.
Good work if you can get
Ellen,
it.
yeah, Ellen DeGeneres, 50 million salary, 2018 for the Ellen DeGeneres show. Judge Judy made 47 million. Barbara Walters made 13 million for The View. Bob Barker, 2001, made 10 million a year. And The Price is Right. Good Lord.
A lot of money in TV.
I'm in the wrong business.
Makes all these chumps on YouTube not all that impressive by comparison.
Yeah. The fuck am I doing wrong here?
And you know what?
Everything.
I bet you that none of those stars ever had to deal with getting swatted 8 or 9 times or death threats like Tim Pool.
To be fair, 2 of those are me.
I'm almost certain now that it's happened so frequently that it's Jack Murphy.
Yeah. Hey, where's Jack Murphy been the last this year?
He just did an interview with Benjamin Boyce.
Who's that?
The guy from Evergreen that kind of made a career after Evergreen because he was a student at Evergreen. So when
Brett Weinstein
and Heather Heyer made their name, he kind of coattailed them and kind of has a decent YouTube presence because
I think you used the wrong name there.
Which one?
Heather Heyer?
Isn't that Bruce Weinstein or Brett Weinstein's wife?
Heather Heyer is the chick who got ran over in the Charger. And,
well then it's like Heather Hying or something like that. It's damn
something
close.
Little Jewier, I'm thinking.
Yeah. Of course, she didn't take the Weinstein name because, progressive. But whatever.
Miss Harvey.
Well, one's Weinstein and one's Weinstein.
Yeah.
Stein.
What's the difference? Nobody knows.
That's what the Jews say. Speaking of, I recently learned that one of the orcs in Lord of the Rings was designed after Harvey Weinstein because he was a monster. So that's Peter Jackson's idea, apparently.
Mm.
So other topics we have for today, other than movies, which we always go to and fall short on, was at roughly 8 p.m. It had, even though it passed earlier in the day, and court stops at 5 p.m., it took until roughly 8 p.m. tonight for the Florida law, or the Florida judge that ruled on the case involving the masks and travel to come into effect, and it was announced roughly between 7:30 and 8:30 that you no longer have to wear masks on your flight if you choose not to. However, it's perfectly acceptable to choose to wear your mask still.
I'm wondering when that's gonna drop off because wearing a mask is you're hiding your identity, and I'm wondering.
In 2019, we were passing laws, especially at colleges, that you couldn't because of Black Bloc.
Yeah, so I'm wondering when we're going to have that full reverse course on that one, where they're not going to let you wear a mask through security because then they can't adequately identify you. Because they were already making people pull down their mask. Last time I flew at the beginning of this year, you had to wear a mask in the airport, but as soon as you got to security, they're like, pull down your mask. I'm like, okay. And then they identified you, and then you had to put it back up. So stupid.
And they still do that.
How's your flight? You have to take off your belt?
What's that?
Garrick? Belt? Belt,
Bills? What do you
shoes,
mean?
mask, belt.
Oh, no. No. I get a TSA pre-check, so I don't have to do all that stuff. I still have to run my stuff through the scanner and take my shit out of my pockets, but belt stays on, boots stay on. You know, it's a little bit easier.
How often are you flying?
But it's
Matt?
not like they, huh?
How often are you flying?
A lot. I've flown 8 times in the last 2 months or 3 months, maybe even more. Jesus, but that's what it takes for this company that I work with now because the work is so short term. It's like it doesn't pay to drive, for a day or two to get to the location if you're only going to spend a day or two working. They'd rather just fork over the, $1,000 it costs for me to fly the equipment and call it a day.
Which is weird because flying to Albuquerque to drive to Springerville is like you might as well just drive from Houston to Springerville.
Nah, not really. Especially to go there, we were just we only flew with 2 pieces of equipment. Everything else came from another office. So, but whenever we flew back was when we had like 9 or 10 pieces of equipment that we split between the 3 of us. So, I don't know. They were fucking retarded. They had it all set up already too to be shipped. So, I don't know what made them change their mind.
Every time people shit on a single POV romance book, I write another one. Oh, how many? 1,000 followers versus they're following 5,000 people. Like, I don't think you actually are in the genre.
You see that Alex Jones and 3 of his companies filed for bankruptcy today?
Yeah, Prison Planet, the medical one for all his pills and shit, and his casting or his actual recording company. Yeah.
Oh, so his vitamin supplement stuff went out.
No, I mean with bankruptcy he can still do all that stuff. It's a cushion for him.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
protection
so it's
so
not
that
a,
he can continue to make money, even though most of that money is going to go to the recipients of the lawsuits.
Mm-hmm. Which I don't think is it's political. It's not punitive.
That's a little column A, little column B in this case, I think. They would very much like to see him shut down.
I think they have backers, though.
They probably do. But as far as, I mean, in a world that wasn't so politically charged, even the people that were the recipients of the lawsuits would rather him file for bankruptcy and continue to operate to continue to generate that revenue than they would be to see him shut down.
Yeah. I pick a fight with I love Steve Gutenberg. Fred Gutenberg, who's always just a piece of shit talking about his dead daughter. From not Sandy Hook, from
OJ.
No, that's
that's Goldman.
Goldman. No, the Florida
the
David Hogg.
Yeah, the school shooting. The name is eluding me right now.
Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. And I, for the life of me, cannot pick him out of a lineup to save my life. I don't know his daughter's name. I just know that he's a mouthy cunt who won't shut up about stupid shit he knows nothing about. Couldn't point him out. But apparently one of the fathers of one of the Sandy Hook kids is so famous, even though I've never heard of any of these people or the kids, that he's had to move 10 times because of his recognition from Alex Jones sycophants. I'm like, no. I don't believe that for a second. But it sucks. But dude, you did this to yourself.
Alex did, yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you didn't have proof and you just started making things up about these people, that's your own fault.
Yeah. Now I can get behind Alex in the idea of that some of these school shootings are influenced,
and weird shit happened.
Yes.
Like they mixed up at some game, like the surviving kids. They brought out surviving kids, but they named the victims as the survivors, which is not like proof in and of itself, but it's just a weird thing that happened. There's a couple of things that are weird like that, but just and there is that girl. There's like a girl that like you know how Zooey Deschanel looks like 16 other actresses?
Right.
There's that girl that's in far too many of the same things. A dark-haired brunette that's just basic bitch as shit. So you see her basically everywhere. Like, that's not crazy. Those are different people. Basic Becky outfit. That's all it is. The problem with Jon Stewart is tanking hardcore.
Good.
Yeah.
See, Jon Stewart is a good comedian. Jon Stewart is a good actor. And ultimately, I believe Jon Stewart to be a good guy because of what he's done in continuing the fight for the first responders after 9/11.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think that he's collecting a paycheck. While he may be sympathetic to woke because he helped create it, he created basically single-handedly the new format that we've been living in for the last 10 years with The Daily Show.
The vitriol?
He took political humor, and again, he's a good comedian, and he was very adept at this, and he would poke fun at both sides. Even on The Daily Show, he would poke fun at both sides, but he was firmly in the tank for one side. He would still occasionally make fun of them and make less fun of them than the other side, which is fine. I mean, SNL has been doing that for decades. But he popularized that format, and there was a time back when The Daily Show was going on that there were news articles being written that most young people were getting their news from The Daily Show, a comedy show, rather than the most
trusted name in news was Jon Stewart for 3 years.
Right, which is why CNN went the way CNN went. They confused the delivery of news with witty humor for partisan delivery of news. And almost all major media organizations looked at what Jon Stewart was doing with The Daily Show and said, we need to recreate that, and then misinterpreted what it was they were creating. So Jon Stewart, for as much as he liked to blame Tucker Carlson and whoever the other nominal host was on Crossfire at the time, when he went and lambasted and killed Crossfire, ended up doing exactly the same thing. And even more so now with the problem with Jon Stewart. It's a very aptly named show. Because he is directly responsible for the division and the vitriol that we see in news media today. And I like him. I still have some admiration for the dude.
Mm-hmm. Kayleigh McEnany was on a plane at 9 p.m. when they announced that they would no longer be having to wear masks.
Well, it's a crime to cover up that pretty face anyway.
Mm. So when does it go into effect? Is it effective immediately?
Immediately,
yeah.
The pilots were making announcements on flights
Yeah. During flights,
Take
before
that,
takeoff,
Shawty.
and they've been taking that, and they've been doing that for, I guess, 2 hours now. Did you guys see the bunny Biden handler?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you see the?
Like, it's literally the rabbit's 3 feet in front of him, and she's waving both hands right in his face.
Well,
And then
because
tries to play it off as a hi and a bye.
yeah. Well, he's mid sentence into answering a question he's not supposed to be answering. So you have to get his attention, and you have to break that train of thought, which, I mean, shouldn't be hard. But on the other hand, he's an old man, and his reflexes ain't what they used to be. But yeah, the guy's just an international embarrassment. I'm right now. I'm at the point where like I felt sorry for Joe Biden. I still kind of feel sorry for Joe Biden because he's just an old man. But
Yeah, it's elderly abuse.
it's elderly abuse. But right now he is an embarrassment. So I'm not even sure if he and Trudeau are running neck and neck for, national leader embarrassment factor. And if it wasn't for Putin, swinging his dick.
Yeah.
The news would be talking about those two douchebags.
They're in the running for fuck up in chief.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hmm.
And it's not like Boris Johnson is a slouch either. He's got plenty of.
No,
fuck
he's not
ups
far
too.
behind.
Or Macron, for that matter. The real Macron.
I was about to go there.
Former Navy linguist Malcolm Nance claims he has joined the Ukrainian International Legion. Why does Malcolm Nance sound familiar?
Is it Jim Nance's kid?
Is Jim Nance a black feller?
Decidedly not.
Then probably not. Oh, there's a frozen picture of that cop slugging that man. If I had the money, I would have this cop punch a dude in a dress made into a bronze sculpture for my lawn. The hell of a tweet there, buddy. Kenosha now has a Republican county executive for the first time in their history. Samantha Kirkman. Kirkman.
Okay.
She was sworn in today.
Cool.
What else do we have for news? Federal judge in Florida has voided the nation's mask mandate covering airports, airplanes, and other public travel from the AP, and that was 8 hours ago. So this happened around 2 p.m. and it's still just getting out on planes. Which, I mean, makes sense.
Yeah. Because people who are traveling aren't going to be paying attention to,
Yeah.
the latest news. And I'm sure places like CNN aren't going to cover it, or MSNBC.
No. Why would you cover your enemy having victories?
Well, honestly, something like that needs to be seen as a victory for everybody. Because it really is.
Yeah,
a
but they don't
victory
look at
for
it that way.
everybody.
But they don't look at it that way.
Oh, Brian Stelter says Tucker Carlson is always selling the same thing. He's selling doubt. The response from fucking @Jack, and you all are selling hope.
Ooh, Dorsey getting spicy.
Yeah.
Nice. That'd be interesting if Jack Dorsey is actually on Team Elon and just keeping quiet about it.
I mean, Jack does some weird shit. And I'm almost worried that he's as fucking goofy as Ian. Just a fucking brain, just so open-minded it's gonna fall to the floor one day. Like like the guy, arguably intelligent. Like you can't deny it. And then some of these stupidest shit tumbles out of some hole in his head and is made verbal and heard by.
That's what happens when you think out loud too damn much.
Just like my fucking.
I would imagine that if Dorsey went on Timcast, it would get as much ratings as Alex Jones.
You think so?
Well, I mean, like, yeah, because some of the highest rated are Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I read the comment section, and his comment section is full of I'd never heard this, like, for Bannon. I'd never heard this dude talk before. He is surprisingly not a crazy giant racist. And Bannon was middle of the road on most things, a populist in nature, very much somebody you would have a hard time arguing with if you weren't a socialist. Like a liberal or a progressive, very different beasts. Have sticking points that contradict each other, but they're on the same side. But a liberal and a conservative can have different sides of the same argument as well. It's just when you go too far out on one of the extremes that gets a little crazy, and that's where they wanted to paint him as an extremist, but he was fairly standard. Wouldn't call him milquetoast, but for the most part, and he called it. He nailed it on his first showing, where he talked about the real interesting part of the year would be when kids go back to school and the parents start to see what the shit is happening, and they're gonna go ape shit, and then they all got labeled parental extremists and white nationalist threats to society and terrorists. And he was 100% correct there. He called it well.
That's why I like the OK Groomer meme, because we have been searching for an adjective to tie on to these lunatics that actually hurts them, that they should feel shame for, and normies can get behind and understand, which is why, Let's Go Brandon works so well. But you call somebody a commie.
Clean.
Right. Well, you call somebody a commie, and they're either going to, blow you off as like, oh, I'm not that extreme, blah, 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 blah. Or they're going to own it and go, yeah, I'm a full-blown Marxist communist, and wear it as pride. Whereas if you label them with a groomer label, they're like, that's as good as calling somebody on the right.
Well, what racist is to us.
What?
The fuck,
what
Eric?
groomer is to them is what racist is to us.
No,
more or less.
No, it's.
No, I'm an actual racist. When you call me racist, I don't give a shit.
Right, but groomer has not been diluted like that, and if it's properly applied, it is a stigma that they cannot deal with, because they have to be seen as the good guys, and in no way, shape, or form is anybody that's a groomer a good person.
Mm-hmm.
They can play off commie, they can play off progressive, they can play off libtard, they can play off anything else that we've been calling them for the last 5 years.
But now it's literally child fucker.
Right.
The play with. Oh, Defiant Owls has Mark Joseph Stern. I don't know who that is. Says, don't give up on the Constitution just yet. One brave federal judge just secured due process and equal protection for thousands of people. This is from 2017, so I assume it's, gay marriage related? January 2017?
Gay marriage was under Obama, so that was a couple of years before that.
January 2017. Okay, whatever it was. And trans rights? What? Anyway, so the response is from today. It's who should decide whether air passengers must wear masks? A federal agency staffed with experts accountable to the president? Who's accountable to the people? Or a 35-year-old Trump judge in Tampa? Boo-hoo. Poor fucking guy. He doesn't know where they're going.
They do God's work.
When they're not kicked off the platform. That's what Elon really should be backing. Literally just taking people's own words against them. Not adding anything to it, not taking anything away, just comparing side by side.
Yep. But I think that he should get rid of, like, the terrorists in the Antifa accounts.
President Biden should use his antitrust powers to stop Elon Musk from acquiring Twitter. Yeah. So it's under bad legal takes. And then in response, because they posted it, the guy says, please take this down or I will sue you for defamation. It's not how that works either. Some of these are just... Oh, it's got me in a mood for some Trump. All this winning.
So much winning.
Not enough, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh my god.
No.
It's slow motion. It's got the bunny in slow motion. I'm sending it to Gun Club because it's Trump, or it's a Biden being surprised by the.
Oh, is that the video that Neo opened with today?
Yeah. Good Lord. Student debt crisis solved from the Kenosha Eye. You took out a loan, pay it back. Now, Tim Pool made a fair point about the predatory lending practices and it being against 18-year-olds. And, you know, I paid off my student loans and am currently paying interest. And it's interest on the interest now. So I could see how that could be a thing. And oh geez, white supremacists in Houston at the Galleria Mall are at it again, and it is a dude with a Glock and a fun mag, and just shooting from like 6 feet away. I would have murdered this guy from 25 feet. Also sending this to Gun Club so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I know, it's been a hell of a fucking day. It's Kyle Rittenhouse ugly crying, and it's him holding Peeps. Did your parents bring you anything good for Easter? What's wrong with Peeps?
I think he made contact. Did he make contact? It looks like he made contact on that skinny dude.
Yeah. He shot him.
Looks like a gut shot, so dude might make it, but yeah. I have no idea where the Galleria Mall is, but
I could have done that shot from 50 feet with my
my guess is South Houston.
With my PDP. It's not 50 yards like that Texas church guy, but
it wasn't 50 yards. That was more like maybe 10 yards.
No, it was 50 something. Was it 50 feet? Because I could shoot 50 feet.
It might have been 50 feet. I'll give it 50 feet, but not 50 yards.
I start out close up, and then I
That
go
was what gun was that again that he used?
some Glock with a fun mag, probably.
No, the guy in the church.
Oh, it was a 1911.
No, it was a 357 Sig.
Was it?
Yeah. That's what it was chambered in. Which one it was, I couldn't tell you.
Oh, it was a Sig.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was like, what kind of a faggot? Yeah. And, I remember now. I think I was saying for like a whole week. I was like, probably like a government model 1911. Before we found out what it was, I was sure it was like a commander. Rapists will be surgically castrated,
Wait,
and anyone
was it
who rapes a
1911?
child. What?
It was a 1911 chambered in.
No, it
357
was
Sig?
it was a
No,
Sig. It was
it was
357.
357
I was
Sig.
saying
I was gonna.
because he's fucking gray haired as shit that it was a commander model 1911, and then we found out what it was a week later, and I was like, holy shit. So that was me convincing myself because I was telling everybody what it probably was and was completely wrong. But I knew for a fact that fucker wasn't running around with a Glock. Like, there was too many gray in his baldness that he wasn't.
That wasn't his style.
Some nickel-plated sissy pistol is what he was running around with, and turned out to be the case. Rapists will be surgically castrated. Anyone who rapes a child will face the death penalty under new laws in Nigerian state. That's beautiful.
I was about to say, where's that at?
Ted Cruz today. Hashtag tax day. Abolish the IRS.
But how would Ted get his money?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't disagree. It seems counterintuitive.
I saw somebody peeling off I did that sticker on a pump last week, and told them, I was like, yeah, these fucking people, they're putting those stickers everywhere. You gotta watch. There's a Biden bumper sticker on the back of your car, so when you're done peeling that one off, you want to get that. You don't want to be looking stupid. And he turns to me, and he was slouching down, and when he stood up all the way, I was still like 6 inches taller than him. I'm like, oh, fuck you up. Like, I know you can't fight. You fucking voted for Biden. I got this. He didn't say shit. Because he's a Biden voter, so he's dead.
Well, damn, Jay.
You should have followed that up with, I will accept your personal apology right the hell now.
Oh, no. I played it off like he was too smart to be a Biden voter. So he didn't say anything. But it's like, yeah, I can't believe somebody did that to your car. Ew.
What now, Jay?
It's Crowder from 14 hours ago. What's worse, a mass shooting or singing on an airplane? So Ilyan Omar is on an airplane. She said, I think my family and I should have a prayer session next time I'm on a plane. How do you think it will end?
Well, that was in response to that video that was out there a couple of days ago where somebody was, one of these kumbaya fucks was up there with a guitar and
yeah,
chorus.
That's the ooh.
Yeah.
Bringing your fucking guitar and carry on.
Right. Like, I'm no fan of Ilhan Omar, but she's got a point. It's kind of gross to do that on a plane.
Playing any music on a plane, I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, not everybody's going to be into that. And what the hell? You got a literally captive audience. I can't, go away. All I'm going to be able to do is shout you down and be a dick. Now, I'm okay with being a dick, and I would be a dick, but I can understand why people wouldn't want to be a dick. But the guy strumming the guitar and singing was a dick.
John Carlito has there's the interview between Joy Reid and this Nance guy, and he called it Meal Team 6. Instead of SEAL Team 6. That was pretty funny. Actually, where's my fucking dude? Let's see what he's talking shit about here on I'm not seeing anything from O'Neill. Is that Robert O'Neill? Richard O'Neill? Robert O'Neill?
Who?
The guy who shot Bin Laden?
Oh, yeah, I don't remember his name.
It's either Robert or Richard. I follow him. He's got some pretty good takes. He shot down, what's his nugget?
I'm pretty sure that if you play that at the right speed, you can hear Biden say, "Oh my God," when he's confronted by the bunny.
Oh my God, buddy! I didn't know who it was. I just knew they weren't a regular in the costume because of how they tilted the head back to look through the mouth.
Yeah.
It's like, you hunch your head forward. Yeah, every platform is anti-Jesus, but putting somebody in a situation like that where they're forced to listen to your shit, I don't want that. I don't want a rabbi doing it to me. I don't want an imam doing it to me. I don't want a pastor doing it to me. So knock it the fuck off. And it's disgusting that you would bring a guitar carry-on and play it.
Yeah, Mike. I doubt they took up the whole plane, because if they did, they would have chartered it, and that video probably wouldn't even been put out.
No, Ilhan Omar was recording it.
Are you sure that was Ilhan Omar? Why the hell was she way back on the wing?
Because they don't let her by the exits.
No, that bitch would be up in first class. That bitch ain't flying coach. And I'm pretty sure the first person that shared that with me was one of the more religious types that I'm associated with, and thought it was like a good thing.
No, I believe in the melting pot, the equal and separate, and that is not either of those things. Don't put your religion on these people. Don't put your religion on me. If I want to hear, and I think a lot of religious music's beautiful. Not even just the white people stuff, but the Baptist stuff is all really good. But don't captive audience me with your bullshit.
Well, I tell you what, I would much rather get down with some Southern Baptists than some fucking kumbaya fuck.
That's my favorite line from Blue Chips is when Nick Nolte's lying about his Southern Baptism, but he does it like he just is all in because he knows if he says the wrong one, it's going to be over for him. He's like, Southern Baptist, is there any other? No. Oh. I'm like, it's like, you're going to get Shaq now. Way to go, Nick Nolte. Oh, Lily called Jack, are you selling hope? She said, based. So this is from 2 days ago. It would have been different if they took off their masks and did that thing today. But just so fucking weird. Just weirdness all around. Seen Elon Musk in a fucking cowboy hat? That's weird on so many different levels.
Yeah, yeah, it is. And I don't care what you do. Unless you're wearing Wranglers and shit kickers, you cannot pull off a Stetson with a t-shirt.
Yeah, he does look a little weird in the t-shirt. Especially when the next picture of him down a little bit is Elon Musk would eliminate salaries for Twitter's board if buyout succeeds, and he's in a suit. It's a nice suit. Like, you had 6 years where your plugs were very questionable and you weren't wearing a cowboy hat. You didn't think about it back then?
Well, it's because he put the Gigafactory in Texas, and that's where he was. That's why he's wearing a Stetson. Because when in Rome, wear a toga. When in Texas, wear a Stetson.
Mm-hmm.
And when in Arizona, wear a big iron.
Still awake, Garrick?
Big iron, big iron.
Is that a no, Garrick?
Pretty sure we lost him.
No. For the best.
So yeah, Shanghai. Yeah, we lost him.
All right, give it to me.
Well, no, Shanghai's on lockdown for the coof, and now they're actually taking people out of apartment blocks that they pay rent in, you know, their homes, to make those apartment blocks quarantine centers. So now they've gone from forcing coof positive people back into their houses, and then they went to forcing everybody, regardless of their coof status, into quarantine. Now they've gone to taking the healthy out of their apartments by force to move them somewhere else so that they can turn their entire apartment blocks into quarantine centers. So, you know, the term being shanghaied has, I think, quintupled down at this point. I guess.
Yeah.
He straight passed the hell out.
No, he said your message hotspot finally took a poo.
Oh, okay.
I said goodnight.
I see that.
Weird shit, man. Weird shit. Nah, could have happened earlier because I gotta go to the bathroom. So entertain the troops. I'll be right back.
Because I'm ever so good at entertaining people on my own. Let's see what else is in the news. Shanghai, Ukraine war. Oh, they blew up a ship. And Russia's not coming clean about how that happened. So we get 8 different stories about how the ship blew up. Questionable whether or not it had nukes on it. So that would be even more interesting if it had nuclear arms on it. The mask mandate, good news. Tim Pool getting swatted again, having to cancel his live event in Nashville. Pretty sure, I said it before, but I'm pretty sure that was Jack Murphy at this point, or Jack Murphy acolytes, which I can't imagine there's any of those anymore, but people are strange, and there's bound to be a few. Biden's scared of the Easter Bunny. We'll find out Wednesday whether Twitter accepts Elon's offer or not. because Elon, being the stud that he is, put a termination date of 420 on the offer, because never not 420 when you're Elon. Not much else news, really. Oh, that old clip of Mika Brzezinski going around saying that it's her job, the media's job, to control what people think, somehow got attached to the Elon thing rather than its original context about Trump, which it's nice to see it making the rounds again and getting more people aware of the clip. But the fact that most people are assuming that this was recent is kind of problematic.
Holy shit, you actually did it.
I tried.
Usually you just press the mute button and
Just
hide.
dead air for a while. Yeah. Well, that's only when stuff goes sideways and I don't know what's going on. At least you gave me the courtesy of telling me what you were doing.
Yeah. Woman says sugar daddy needs her more than Parkland mass shooting jury.
Oh yeah, I saw that story too.
What's about? I'm not clicking on it.
No, literally, she confused the judge because the judge could not believe the idiocy falling out of this bitch's mouth. She's like, I'm married, but I have a sugar daddy, and he requires more attention than I could give to this case, so I shouldn't be on this jury. And the judge was like, what? And she had to explain it, and the judge is like, yeah, I don't know that that's going to cut it, but we'll come back to that later because they had other court business to do. But yeah, apparently she got off the jury by saying that despite being married, her sugar daddy needed her attention more than, doing her civic duty.
Makes sense. We can't hold it against her.
Well, I mean, anything to get out of jury duty, right?
Exactly.
I'm shocked it's taken 4 years to them to get to the sentencing of a guy who had basically just admitted guilt straight out the box.
Hey, now. Accurate.
Is Juicy still free? Are we all still in danger?
Yeah, Juicy's still free. That son of a bitch. Yeah, I don't know what his. I guess he's got freedom until the actual retrial or whatever. Or
Retrial? He's guilty. That was
not
just
the retrial.
resentencing or something.
Not resentencing. No, he's
Appeal?
fighting it. Appeal. Yeah, because it just acquittal kept popping in. I'm like, not acquittal. Shut up.
No, he's guilty.
Yeah.
So he's just going to waste more taxpayer dollars. Good on him.
Well, I mean, you're right.
Winning friends and influencing people. Way to go, Jesse.
Yeah, you're not all a piece of shit. You piece of shit.
It's going to be interesting to see how compromised Black Lives Matter is this election cycle.
Yeah, and with no one's talking about, like, they're doing a little bit of talking, like they're getting attacked, but no one is mentioning they paid $6 million for a $3 million house in money laundering.
Well, yeah, they're talking about it as like a misappropriations of funds, not the crime of literally paying double what a property is worth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then Patrice Cullors is back in the news because she's like, I don't know what a 990 is. Fuck those things. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah. This is a racism.
Yeah. Gee, color me shocked that you didn't know that you had to follow the law. Color me shocked.
Yeah.
Part of me is rooting for him because, separating suckers from their money is fine by me. But
Mm-hmm. Like what Hillary Clinton did with the Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's such a bitch move.
Kind of a slow news cycle, really. I mean, there's interesting things going on, but none of it's moving fast, and there's not much to do until some of the stuff plays out.
Yeah.
Like the Twitter Elon thing. We're just watching the clock count down, basically, and the president being terrified of the Easter Bunny is only funny for about 30 seconds.
But like a full 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, I want to rewatch the shit out of that about every 2 hours just because it's, brings a smile to my face, but
It's hilarious.
oh my god. Yeah, what was that? What was the movie with Jimmy Stewart where he played the guy that went to Washington and saw like the 6-foot bunny?
Oh, Harvey, the bunny rabbit.
Harvey, the imaginary 6-foot invisible bunny.
Mm-hmm.
He probably had that flashback in his head. Was that Mr. Smith? That wasn't Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. That was a different one.
I don't know.
I'm old, but I'm not that old, so I don't remember that.
I think I should play the Easter Bunny clip.
I'm not playing the Easter Bunny clip. I don't have it really set up to do that.
Yep, sorry about your luck.
Just go watch Neo's stream from earlier today, Black Magic. It's the first thing he plays. Oh, apparently Morbius is a giant ball of suck.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
Um,
Shit-tastic.
They announced a Stranger Things season 6.
Good lord.
5, 6? I don't remember what it is. It's got to be at least 5, if not 6.
Jack Pasovic, but the Pawn Stars guys says you want fighter jets and heavy bombers. Best I can do is Malcolm Nance.
Oh, he's my favorite Glowy.
Oh yeah. He's both bright and bright. Yeah, I got fucking nothing.
I did talk about the Benjamin Boyce interview with Jack Murphy, right?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it.
Yeah.
But,
I haven't watched
he-
the whole thing, but
did he say
basically,
anything like, I did not swat Tim Pool?
no, that he didn't say, but he did take credit for. He thinks he's the reason Tim Pool is as well off as Tim Pool is. It's like I was the first guest on the Timcast IRL show, and it was all my current, frequent reappearances on that show that made it what it is. Basically, trying to take take credit for Tim Pool being successful.
Okay, well, he's there now. Why are you where you are now?
Right. Well, and Benjamin Boyce is one of those guys he's just going to let you talk and, hang yourself some more, which is fine. And honestly, I think Benjamin Boyce was looking for a little bit of notoriety, which is why he agreed to interview him and, boost himself a little bit I was the only guy post, controversy to have Jack Murphy on, or I was the first guy post controversy to have Jack Murphy on. I can't imagine a whole lot of people are going to have Jack Murphy on going forward. Although I could see Hassan and Ethan Klein having him on. That would be interesting.
I can't stand Ethan Klein.
I can't either, but I would like it. I would like it if they. I would like it if they had him on just because, or Vosh, either one of them. Just because it would just show just how fucking bottom of the barrel those fucktards are.
Maybe BLM use Wesley Snipes' tax account if they could find him in Barbados.
Well, BLM wouldn't hire a tax accountant because they're anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
That's not real hard to figure out.
And all the black accounts are actually OnlyFans accounts, so it doesn't work that way. All right, let's you want to swap over to
Well, we could.
half hours?
There was a clip of Ben Shapiro and Seamus.
Oh yeah, even though Seamus's fucking microphone was off the entire
Right.
time.
How do you not catch that? Fire the producer.
Well,
Lydia. Yeah. Yeah. The one thing that your audience wants to see is Seamus do Ben Shapiro in front of Ben Shapiro.
Well, there's no chance it wasn't going to happen. He did Dave in front of Dave. He did Jordan in front of Jordan. Like they literally Skyped him specially for Seamus to do Jordan in front of Jordan on Michaela Peterson.
Right.
And while Ben was in town, of course he was going to do Ben in front of Ben. I don't think I could do that personally, and there's not a lot I'm not up for. But doing a impersonate, I don't do impersonations.
Right. If I had a good impersonation, I would definitely do it in front of the person I'm impersonating. I definitely would know that I have a good one.
I mean, maybe Crowder's Bernie impersonation. I just think that's so much more Gilbert Godfrey than Bernie Sanders. It's not even funny.
Right.
I mean, it's funny, but yeah, let's. You got something?
No, I was gonna say I'd do Alex Jones for Alex Jones, but everybody does it Alex Jones. So
I'm kind of retarded.
I gotta be honest with you, kind of retarded.
And then somebody instantly said, "That's a clip."
Oh, my kid Hudson thinks that's the funniest shit ever. Did I tell you that?
Yeah.
Because he comes down to me one day and he's like laughing his ass off. I'm like, "What's so funny?" He's like, "Dad." I'm like, "Yeah." I gotta be honest with you. And he's like, "Oh, I saw a clip on the thing," and I'm like, "Well, what were you watching?" And apparently it was some gamer stream that he was watching where they were spoofing it. And I'm like, "Oh, have you seen the real thing?" He's like, "What do you mean the real thing?" So I pulled up the real clip, and he died laughing for like a good 30 minutes. He was just giggling and running around. I'm kind of retarded and giggling, and I'm kind of retarded and giggling. It was great. Absolutely great.
That is good.
All right, you two. I will figure out how that I can get some video clips going on the fly for next week. I just don't have it in me to put that together on the fly right now. So I'll try.
I don't actually.
some...
I don't have the cop hits the tranny clip. I just have a picture of it.
Well, I'll figure out a way that I can quickly pull this stuff up and figure out how to display it for next week's show. We'll enhance the show. That's what we'll do.
There we go. Ah, Jesus. Next step, we'll be putting effort. It's going to be a whole ordeal.
Yeah.
You fucking needy people.
The things we do for our fan.
Oh. I had something earlier when Tim stated that he has 100,000 views on the IRL, and I was like, you know, guys, if you all told 2 friends and they told 2 friends, we'd only need 100,000 more people to equal them guys. Just a rounding error, but 100,000 more people. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Well, I believe in good vibrations is what creates a beautiful nation. All you need is the will.